Ladies and gentlemen, hi, welcome. This is going to be the final review. And so, what you want to do is kind of pay attention, and we're going to look at how we created the exam. So, um, right here, we're going to create this test. We're going to go over it. Physical exam. This is the combined one for both the classes. And we're going to take a look at what is on this exam. The first one, the first question that we have, or the first definition, is right out of chapter 11. And we went through yesterday and we determined that these are the definitions from chapter 11, which is basically all of them. And then we went through the questions. And I know if you're watching this, you can pause and get the answer for all of these. That is not a concern of mine. And I'll go through that later. But these are the questions that we went through yesterday for chapter 11. And this is what we came up with for fair and decent questions for the final. So, like, what is instantaneous acceleration? And this is things that we all agreed on, so that these questions are put together to make a valid final. And so you have this, so you can go through this. And then right now, what we're looking for is a review of the math that we're going to put in for chapter 11. And we're going to take a look at the questions for chapter 11 that we need to look at. Now, guys, remember, you can have a handwritten formula sheet, right? And this is given for you. Okay? A man is traveling for hours at a speed of miles per hour. What is his distance? A times B. Okay? A man throws a ball. All you have to do is supplement these two in the formula. A man throws a ball, it reaches a velocity. The formula for velocity is V2 minus V1. Okay? Over T2 minus T1. And so in this particular case, there is no T. It's just X divided by Y, or velocity divided by time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another thing right from chapter 11. And the average speed is distance over time. If a car travels a distance of D, what is his time? Time is distance divided by speed, and that's right there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one thing that you're going to have to pay attention to, because this is off the combining vectors. So when you're writing that formula sheet, you have to remember that a squared plus b squared square rooted will give you that answer. Okay? Once again, a boat crossing, if you see a right angle, it's a squared plus b squared, and you square root c to give you c. Same thing. Penny has dropped. Right? This is from displacement formulas. Okay? And so the displacement formulas is, once again, square rooted. And use 490 for this question. That means your only number, first number divided by 490, and square root it. Same thing. Use 490. First number divided by 490 and square root it. Now this one, you have to use 4.9. A penny has dropped. It takes a total time of b seconds to reach the ground. How high was it drops from? The formula is 1/2 acceleration times time squared. Use 4.9. Does everybody get that I'm giving you the formula and how you do it inside the question? Once again, a student is on the back of the truck. We went over this yesterday. You got to add these two vectors. Okay, and here's the questions from chapter 12. This is the questions that are going to be on chapter 12. So if you're looking at your test from chapter 12, these are the ones that we pulled from it. So the SI unit of force, Newton's third law, these are things that we spent an incredible amount of time on. The force is acting on a fallen leaf, gravity and resistance. The product of an object's mass and velocity, momentum, 1/2 mass velocity squared. The property of matter, resist change, just inertia. We did a lot with that. We didn't do a lot with collisions, but you should know that it's conserved. What kind of friction occurs? We spent enough time on friction for you to know all of these. And then these questions: when a pair of balanced forces acting on an object, the net force is zero. That's something not moving. The whole point of this semester is what causes something to move. All right, when an unbalanced force acts on an object, the object accelerates. That's the thing that we've actually studied the most on. When opposite poles of two magnets are brought together, the poles attract each other. This thing you need to know just because we've touched on it quite a bit. The universal force that's the weakest is gravity, and yet we're affected by it. Your weight equals mass times acceleration of gravity. And then now, ladies and gentlemen, these are the definitions for chapter 12. They're all in there. Okay, they're all in there. So this is where we are so far. The next video is going to take a look at chapter 14 questions, the vocab from 14, and the math from 14. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Remember, this is, I guess it'll be the first semester physical science exam, video 1 or 2, or redone. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. So we're at 47 questions, and we got a lot of math questions and a lot of vocab so far. Thank you, and I'll see you again on Monday.